Brian Parker here. Another series on how to tackle a debt collection lawsuit. And this one I haven't touched upon. I'm not sure if I ever did a video on Cavalry SPV I, LLC. But we're going to look at a lawsuit today. And let me put it up on the screen. That's the Cavalry debt collection lawsuit. It's an average one. Cavalry in Michigan actually uses two entities to do their lawsuits. The other one only has 4 paragraphs in the lawsuit, and it's completely wrong. You'd figure they would make a lot more mistakes with a lot more chances. But in this one, if you look at paragraph 3, it'll say plaintiff, which is Cavalry, there's nobody else, is entering into a credit card agreement with defendant, and AKA what his name is. But that's impossible because Cavalry is a debt buyer. They didn't come to this until they bought the debt. And indeed, if you look at the date and then we compare it to their bill of sale, which we'll do later on, you're going to scratch your head going, how do they make such bad mistakes? Well, they do because they are pumping out thousands of these. And they have to be very general in all their pleadings and everything. And that is why they make so many mistakes. That's to your benefit. You can go in with the court and say, look, false, false, false. And then this is why they haven't met their burden of proof. So the name of this video today is 6 tips to answer a Cavalry SPV lawsuit. And we're going to give you 6 tips. 1, use their paperwork against them. You hear me saying that all the time. Why? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, here's why. You have to keep repeat, rinse, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat for the jury to get it. That isn't to put down the people that are reviewing. It's just that we have so much coming at us all the time. I have to get ahead of that and give you something concrete to hold on to. So I keep repeating. And one day, just like me, when I've read something 64 times, I'll go, oh, I get it. So use their paperwork against them. How? Point out the missing things and false assignments or false statements. So you take this complaint and you, as I always say, FFF, true, whatever's true, right, true, very few things. False, not only put F by your their pleadings, but keep that in your head for later on in this list of 6. 3, answer is the chance to make a strong statement about your defense and how bad the plaintiff's case is. With debt collection lawsuits, really easy to do. 4, debt, not account. What do I mean by that? Again, I'm repeating myself, but it's worth listening to. Check out the lawsuit. Take a minute, take an hour. You won't see the word debt in their lawsuit. They're not account collectors, they're debt collectors. So how are they saying there is no debt in this lawsuit, but you owe something? So number 5, the great new case that came down, and this is going to be important as I get moving on this, Green versus PRA. It's everything I've been preaching in the state of Virginia. Court of Appeals looked into my brain, took everything and used everything I've been telling you to use against PRA. PRA is just another debt buyer. MCM, Crown Asset, Cavalry, birds of a feather, man. They're all debt-buying giants that don't take any care in their lawsuits. Why? Because 90% of those lawsuits are going to get defaulted anyway. There's actually statistics. In fact, I think in the Green opinion, it actually talks about that. So number 6 tip, this all should end up in your counter affidavit. So let's get going real quick. So I took the lawsuit of Cavalry, it was up on the screen, and I created an answer, a little different flavor. Only I did this actually in the actual one I just filed a couple of minutes ago, and I hope it makes sense. And I did it for you rather than just the court and the other side, because I want to teach you. And simply put, what I do, I've added 2 little somethings to my usual stuff. And every paragraph that the debt collector has written, I have an answer in my answer. So number 3 especially, it says that on, let's put number 3 of their complaint up, Shazam. And it says that on about 7/26/2022, plaintiff entered into a credit card agreement with defendant, my client. A legal factual impossibility because Cavalry's not around until 2023, 24. to file this lawsuit. And I think the original creditor, so they say, is Citibank. And Citibank is the one that contracted with my client. You'd never know that from their lawsuit. So plaintiff is Cavalry. That's a false statement. So number 3, here's what I wrote. And by the way, on my membership site, everything I talk about, all this paperwork is all on my membership site. Look for the PRA versus Green opinion. It's fantastic for this stuff. And that's my second point. I always add Exhibit A, my counter affidavit. I have a new exhibit, the Green opinion. So number 3, my answer in number 3, I'm going to put it up for you, Shazam. And it will say, in response to, they say that plaintiff is essentially saying they're the original creditor. I say, deny. Plaintiff did not enter into a credit card agreement with defendant on 7/26/22. How is that possible? I write, it's impossible. Cavalry does not create credit card debt to provide consumers in Cavalry. It also states it's received the debt from paragraph 9. They also say they received the debt from Citibank. If you look at their complaint, paragraph 9, they're saying they're an assignee of Citibank. So they can't be there at the very beginning to create the debt and then say Citibank gave it to us if you already had it. It's convoluted nonsense. So you'll see my template attached to my video. So my video will have 3 or 4 different templates for you to use in going through the 6 tips to slam these guys, slam the door shut on them using their own words. I keep saying that. Please listen. I always say, what's my mantra? Use their own paperwork against them. What's my other mantra? You got to have a counter affidavit. I don't care what state you're in. I'm not giving you legal advice. You be you. Go do what you want. But you got to have a counter affidavit. In some states, an absence of a counter affidavit, you automatically lose. Then they just have to talk about damages. Seen plenty enough opinions, and some law firms are starting to watch my videos because now they're going all in on anybody that doesn't have a counter affidavit. So if you've done a solo suit answer, solo suit in most states doesn't tell you to do that counter affidavit. In Michigan, for example, a failure to add the counter affidavit. So a lawsuit comes in, a collection lawsuit comes in with their paperwork saying, yeah, they owe the debt. We don't have the contract, but they owe the debt. You've got to do a counter affidavit or it's an indicia of indebtedness against you. So I take everything they do wrong and put it in the counter affidavit. Let me put it up on the screen for you. This is pretty condensed. So this is for this actual lawsuit that I just filed. Boom, Shazam. And you can see I wrote, and this is what you got to get from me. Don't be legal in the sense that party of the first part, party of the second, you are who you are. So I am who I am. I go, here's the dumb thing you said. Here's why it's dumb. Here's the law. So that's what my affidavit says. It says on number 3, the lawsuit pleadings at paragraph 3 are completely dumb. No, it doesn't say that. But it says, states that the plaintiff Cavalry entered into a credit card agreement. It's not possible. They're a debt buyer. They don't give any credit to anybody. And then I write that right in the affidavit. Why? Because that's the human approach. If I have a conversation with you, I'm not going to use all flowery legal words. I'm going to go, hey, Bob did this. I'm not happy about what Bob did. And then he said, and that's what you do. You be human. And the human part of this is the emperor, again, is not wearing any clothes. There's no proof here that they own this debt. There's no assignments. They added and we've talked about this. This will go in your counter affidavit. They added a bill of sale. Bill of sale, Shazam. And again, nothing about the actual account number, the actual name of my client. So it can't be about my client's debt. It's all really human and easy. It isn't there. So they attach Exhibit 1 and then they attach data forms. Here, Exhibit 1. And let's put data form on the other side. Somebody wrote that. I don't know who. It's all hearsay. But if they really owned it through assignment, it would say it right in the assignment. Not only is that the law in a lot of states, this Green versus PRA case says, on top of that, PRA, you didn't prove you own the debt. So I am giving you a cool tip today. On every case, you should send a validation request. The court in the Green case pointed to the fact that the client, Miss Green, did that and they didn't respond. You're not required to do that, but courts look at some things more than they should. And that's her reaching out saying, just prove to me you own the debt. Send me a letter, spend 55 cents on the stamp. And they didn't. And the court points to that as you had a chance to prove before you got in on this lawsuit. So Miss Green did quite well. It's on my website. So is 2 counter affidavits in Word templates to use for you to use. If you get one of these complaints, they're all the same. They're debt buyers. They just crank it out. But you take care. Use my 6 tips. Use their paperwork against them. Point out the missing things. Your answer's a chance to make your strong statement. Debt, not account. If it's a debt, how come the word debt isn't in the lawsuit? Use Miss Green's case. It all should end up in your counter affidavit. And I've got 2 templates on my website for you. The Green versus PR case. Please just read it. It's everything you want to do these cases. All right. So that's how you crank on Cavalry. See my membership website, collectionstoppersolutions.com. It has all the videos for every single scenario that you could possibly face, plus templates, plus extra videos that are free, plus guidance and my show notes. You'll get my show notes. And I have lawsuits where I take things piece by piece by piece just to help you. That's important to me because a lot of websites sell answers and they go, it's all, just do this. Wrong answer. I break it down for you. I hope I do a good job. If I don't, comment. Let me know and I'll change it for you or add to it. My membership site is going great guns now. The offers and the launch prices are awesome. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and I can do more of this, more of the same. And again, you're going to hear me on and on and on about the same thing, but they're powerful words to live by for you to beat these guys. Good luck.